there's all this conversation that seems to be ginned up about Becky Hammon, who just won her third WNBA title, I think, about her coaching in the NBA. And then there's questions, for some reason, someone's asking Don Staley about coaching in the NBA. And it's this, I think young people are going to reject and are in the process of rejecting this whole belief that, hey, women can do anything men can do. And so, hey, winning a WNBA title is proof that she could win an NBA title. And it's not. Again, I've watched a lot of the WNBA. Didn't watch the playoffs, but I've watched a lot. It's not the same. It's not in the same universe. But I want to, here's Stephen A. Smith talking about why some NBA team should make a run at Becky Hammon, and it's just preposterous to me. Play the clip.
But I'm here to tell you something right now. Becky Hammon, this head coach for the Las Vegas Aces, I've said this on many occasions, and I'll say it again. She deserves to coach in the NBA. If
100.
men can coach in the WNBA, she needs, if I owned an NBA team, I would not mind giving her a chance as the head coach of my franchise. Because that woman knows what she's doing.
Coach.
That woman knows, well, of course, Dawn Staley, the great Dawn Staley. But I'm just talking about Becky Hammon doing what she did in the NBA level as an assistant coach and coaching the summer league team for the men to a title before she took the Las Vegas Aces job. She has been a staple in basketball, period. And I'm just really big on this, man. Justin, I believe men should not be allowed to be head coaches in the WNBA because you don't see women coaching in the NBA at a head coaching level. If you're going to do that to the women, having a man coach the WNBA team, then a woman should be allowed to be the head coach of an NBA team. That's what I believe.
And that's what I disagree with. And it's all based on the false premise, myth that, hey, if a man can do it, a woman can do it just as well. Well, let me see a woman stand up and piss. We can sit down and piss. Can they stand up and piss? They can't. And we need to come up out of this myth that everything a man can do. Can they run a 9-6 meter dash? No, they can't. Men can do it and have done it. But this is what drives me crazy. And this is, again, where I was just like, sports are off into this fantasy land. And everybody talks about the fantasy of sports and like, oh, if men can coach in the WNBA, yeah, because men are better coaches of athletic events because men in general have more of a passion for it. Men, our voice, the bass in our voice, people respond to height. And again, there's not that there's been no great short coaches. There's been plenty of them, from Hank Stram to Vince Lombardi. But the taller you are, the more respect you command. Go look at the studies on CEOs and why there's a high percentage of them that are 6'2" and taller. I think the way the conversation is rigged in sports, through ESPN, through Fox Sports, through the mainstream media, it's a turnoff to young boys and men. And when I just talk about jumping the shark, this is what I'm talking about. Steve, you fire first.
You know, I thought Stephen A. had made some progress with his very true comments on Jazzy Jazz Ratchet, and now he just backtracks, just backslides. My God. See, that's why you can't trust the guy. So here's the issue, and this is the truth. If we were in a building that was on fire, and you could call 911 and you had that option, okay, help's on the way, sir, but press A for an all-male fire crew or B, all women. Who in their right mind would choose B? I don't want to hear that they're equal. Now, I have very little sympathy for any modern-day NBA player. They get paid a lot, and they have this incredible sense of entitlement. They don't even want to do their jobs every day. But I would feel an iota of sympathy for anyone that got stuck on a franchise that would try this stunt, because they'd be asked about it incessantly, and this would be the answer. Well, yeah, I don't really care who leads me. I can play. And in the back of their mind, no professional athlete at that level that is a male wants to be told what to do by a female. That is the reality.
Scap.
There's also, look, call me old-fashioned, but there's also something to do with awkward moments, situations that might befall some female head coach. Like, do you really want a woman in the locker room situations with a bunch of grown male athletes? I don't know if you guys, again, I'm a big movie guy. Any given Sunday, there's a female reporter at the beginning, and she drops her microphone and has to bend down there, and there's something swinging by her head. Like, what kind of awkward things might befall these women? Secondarily, to Steve's point, there's a lot of ego, and even though they're not alpha like they were in the past, still like that alpha mentality of a lot of these professional athletes. I don't think that a female would command the kind of respect that they would need in order to criticize these players or to coach them in a hard way. I just don't think that I think that they fundamentally lack the authority to be able to do that.
Scap, you don't think Anthony Mason or Charles Oakley would appreciate Don Staley yapping at them to rotate a little bit more or hit the boards with more vigor? You don't think that would have worked out, huh?
I don't think so.
Hold on, Steve. The only thing you're missing is, like, those guys are past their prime. These athletes that they're pumping out now that go to the beauty salons to get their hair done just like their mama and grandmamas did, that paint their fingernails or whatever, they've been programmed through the fall of the family to see a woman as the ultimate authority. And again, I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable, but I'm going to speak the truth. If you like the results of the matriarchy, if you go look at the black community and the fall of the family, if you like those results and you like the way that young men respond to female authority, there's a big test case, lab rats out there, black people,
Wait a minute.
the structure of their family, you can see the results. And so that's what's happening in the NBA. And that's what they're planning to do to the NFL. Go ahead, Steve.
To that point, then, okay, so Don Staley is black. You might think there may be more of a synergy there that works, right? Because culturally, how would it work with Becky Hammon then, a white woman?
Becky Hammon would command more respect than Don Staley, because again, you're looking at the result. You can see how black men respond to a matriarchal culture and leadership. It's all over the black community. It's in every major city in America. And so if you like people with their pants hanging off their butt, tatted up all the way any and everywhere, and bad grades in school, low SAT scores, baby mama drama everywhere, that's what you'll get in the NBA and sports. It's really not. It's not a skin color thing. It's a female dominant culture thing. When you surrender to the matriarchy and surrender to the emotions of women and outlaw male leadership, the results are in. There's a group of lab rats, human lab rats, that have proven the matriarchy is a failure. Most people are in denial of it. I'm not.
Like what you saw? Hit that like button, subscribe, and check out the full episode by clicking the link below.